Good evening, rockers. Vegas Rock Goddess here on the Rocks. Total entertainment coming to you live from somewhere off the Las Vegas Strip. Tonight is a special 1 hour edition of On the Rocks. We have Playhouse, the whole entire band, including Peter Cat. I'm going to start letting them in, and we're going to get to the nitty gritty of this band. They have a brand new album coming out, so let's let everybody in.
Hey, Carol, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Peter testing his equipment.
Testing. All right, Carol.
Good, how are you?
We jammed pretty late last night, so I'm feeling a bit rough today, but I'm good.
All right, Doug, are you getting your stuff together over there?
My stuff is together.
He's always got it going
Danny!
on. How are you?
What's up, buddy?
We're just waiting for KK, whoever that is, to come in.
KK, that's the
rhythm guitar player.
Rhythm guitar.
I don't know. Do you see me? Do you hear me?
I do. We can barely see you.
Okay.
KK,
yeah.
KK is the
Let's
man
see.
of few words.
There we
There
go.
we go. There we
How's
go.
that better? Sorry, I'm just trying to get from point A to point B, and unfortunately, I'm still on the road.
Okay, that's cool. I'm used to doing mobile interviews, so let's get to it. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for coming on. This is a special 1 hour edition of On the Rocks. We're going to talk about this band. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Peter,
Thank you,
I just
and thanks for
talked to
having
you a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And you guys have got a lot going on. I mean, this band has been in inception since 1985.
87.
Right, 87. And you guys have 13 albums out now.
Nope. We have 5 albums and 1 unreleased album that will never see this light of day,
Okay.
which was called
Cool.
Fun and Games.
Thanks for setting
Not
the
if I
record
have
straight
something
with
to do
that.
with it.
But anyway, so let's get started. Peter, why don't you kind of tell us like where you guys are at right now?
Where we're at now, we're at the beginning, or I'd say quarter way into promoting our new EP, Broken and the Damned, released by RFL Records, promoted by Dangerous Doug Music. We're on the second single, Promises, which is now sitting at, I believe, almost 42,000 views in just a couple of weeks. And we're getting a lot of praise, and there's a lot of media that's now trickling in who's saying what a mature album, and so on and so on.
Amazing.
And then we'll eventually book a few gigs, and we started rehearsals last night, so yeah, we're sounding pretty sweet, actually.
What about you, Danny? How are you excited about the new music?
Very excited, actually. It's been sitting in the can for a while, so it's been done for a bit, and we were just waiting for the right time to release it. And so it's finally good to get it out and get some feedback and all of that good stuff, and people hearing it
for the first time. Yeah. How about you, KK, in the driver's seat? What do you think about the new stuff?
Well, it's definitely very refreshing. So it's definitely nice to have something new and something different and something, I guess, more, how can I say it? Not mature, but I'd say there's a progression with the writing, and it's just,
right.
It just gets better and better and better. It's like a fine wine. It gets better with time.
Of course. Doug, welcome. Dangerous
Doug
Franklin in the house.
Thank you for having me on. This band means so much to me. It's just so good to be part of this.
Yeah, I mean, Doug, we've been friends for a long time. And I mean, Playhouse has just been such a big part of your life.
Since 2022, it actually has. And you know, we've talked about some of the other artists and bands I've worked with, and I love them all. These guys, for a band I've never met in person, it feels like we're all connected like brothers. It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like we all have a connection here because Peter and I've interviewed Peter a couple times, and always great interview, always very interesting. Uh, this band has a lot to say, and that's why I kind of wanted to give you guys this platform, this 1 hour special, because this album is special, and
Thank you.
it's really, I think it has to get to the ears of the people here. But you guys are amazing live. I am going to say that you guys really bring it. So, I mean, the record is great, but seeing you live is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, we come from the 80s, right? So it's literally in our fabric to give big shows with big choruses and big moves and, get the crowd involved. And that's in our DNA from the start because all our heroes are, all our initial heroes are those bands that gave shows. And, you were there, Carol.
Yes, I was. So was Doug. He was there too. You're
We were
not
all
getting
there.
out of this one, Doug Franklin.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you guys, we're in this. I currently live in Southern California, what, about 35 minutes or so from Palm Springs, and we're in the middle of this massive hailstorm. Are you guys hearing that? I just want to mute while someone else is talking so you guys aren't hearing this.
I can't even
Ken?
hear it, Doug.
Okay.
No.
As
No,
long as you guys are good, I'm good.
I thought you had a
Yes.
drummer in your basement or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Somebody
we, we
pounding
let him
away.
out. We let
Somebody
we let
pounding
him out
away in the
every now and then.
drums.
Right.
He only gets to come out sometimes.
No, don't. We don't hear nothing.
Okay, good.
Okay. So Peter, the new record, what is the first single's already out, right?
First two singles, yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us what those two first singles are? Kind of bring us up to speed.
Okay, well, the first single was a song called Black Clouds, or is a song called Black Clouds, which is a great song with a accompanied with literally my favorite Playhouse video ever, which we wrote all together last about a year ago. And the second single is a song called Promises that is a great live song.
Amazing.
It
That's
has a
my fave right now.
very
Mine
cool
too.
video, us chilled out in our jam room. We want to keep that one very organic and simple. This is what we like in our jam room. Another great song we wrote together, and we actually wrote it in that room. So those are the first two songs out.
Yeah, this album is super exciting. I mean, you guys, I'm sure you're already rehearsing. So I'm sure you guys are getting the itch to get this out live in front of people.
Well, we did have an opportunity to play it live last September, just to give it a test drive
Right.
before it even came out. And as far as I know, it went well.
Yeah, we also played a few of the tracks when we opened for Trickster in November.
Yeah.
What did the guys from Trickster say?
Well, you said a few things.
But you mentioned to me last night. That's why I can't.
Oh, it was Take Over the World. He thought that one was a hit.
Right.
Nice. Those guys from Tricksters is amazing. I've met them a few times. Really cool dudes.
Yeah, very, very cool dudes. They actually I was joking with him backstage, and I said, "So when are you producing our song?" And the guitarist is Steve, right?
Yeah, Steve Brown, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
gave right away, right there. He's like, "Dude, here's my email address. Write me. I'll produce something."
Yeah, he's a great. I mean, he's one of the most underrated guitar players. I'm sure KK can attest to that. He is
Yeah, he's
underrated.
phenomenal. Phenomenal. He's a he's incredible. I mean, he's just all around. I mean, just fantastic. He's got the everything in his arsenal. He's got all the chops. He's got everything. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's the reason why he gets hired to do a lot of work for a lot of great musicians out there that we know
Oh
of.
yeah. I mean, Doug, weren't you at that show with me at Vamped?
Yes. Yeah, when they played with
Eric Martin.
Eric Martin, yeah.
Yes.
I'm telling you what, I'm a big fan of Peter uh Lauren, the original singer, but Steve pulls all those songs off vocally
Yeah,
Yeah,
these guys are great.
big time.
These guys are really good.
Yeah, I mean I can't you see Playhouse at Vamped? I know I can.
I have been envisioning them at Vamp since 2022 when this guy named Peter Cat out of the blue just sent me their entire album that was unreleased. And after about 35 seconds of the first song, I'm like, I talked to John, the CEO and founder of RFL, and I said, dude, you got to hear these guys.
Yep,
And
that was
the
it.
rest is kind of history for me.
You know how I got hooked. I'll tell you a story how I got hooked on Playhouse was my old executive producer. We won't mention his name. But
No,
anyway,
you don't have
he,
to. We know you. I know what you're
yeah,
thinking of.
you
I
know who
know
I'm
who she's
talking
talking
about.
about.
Yeah,
Okay. We know this.
yeah.
Anyway, he's the one that turned me on to Playhouse. He's like, man, Carol, you gotta listen to Playhouse, man. Peter Cat, man, you gotta listen. And I'm like, okay, you've convinced me. So I started checking out, and incredible. I was hooked immediately. I'm like, and Doug's like, Carol, he's right. You gotta go get him. And yeah, I've been a fan ever since.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Just to give you a fan and friend perspective of where these guys are now, I fell in love with dancing at funerals like right away
Oh yeah, me
because
too.
if you here you got like 12, 13, 12 tracks of actual like full songs and in the intro, you're going you're thinking the whole time you're listening to it is every song on this album could be a standalone single.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in my mind when, here fast forward to last year, Peter started talking about the EP and I'm literally thinking, how the fuck are these guys going to top
Yeah, we were
Dancing at
thinking the
Funerals?
same thing.
Right?
We were.
Peter, we've had this conversation. I mean, man, that's like the pinnacle. I mean, seriously. I mean, you guys, have nailed it with Promises. I mean, incredible.
The
Let's
first time
say,
I heard Promises, I said, "Oh shit, they've done it. They've done at least one song. I don't know. I don't even remember the first one I heard. It may not have been Promises, but when I was actually able to hear that song, I'm like, this is huge. It's got every catchy bit of it, not just the vocals. It's just the
Right?
catchiest, most memorable. It gets stuck in your head, and I'm thinking, man, they've done it. I didn't think they could outdo anything on that, and here we go.
Yep.
my our bass player, Danny's, we call him Mr. Quality Control. So, if we have five
You keep
singles
that
on an
behind my
album, if we have five singles on an album, it's because he's quality control and he makes sure him and our producer make sure
I think everybody does, but yeah.
Yeah, but you guys are a little more strict on it, so
Maybe.
which is
Yeah.
great. No
Yeah,
complaints here.
we accept perfection, Peter. No problem.
Yeah, but
You
Yeah,
know,
I go
we're
a little
okay
bit.
with that.
I can go off the beaten path sometimes, and I'm like, why don't we have a 17-minute intro? And then, you know, I'm explained to me because that doesn't work anymore. This is not 1971. So,
right, right. You know, we're not like playing the Boston album, the first one.
yeah.
You know, but yeah, this album is really. I mean, it's a long time coming, and the direction you guys are going in is right dead on to what is happening right now in the pulse of rock.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you
Yep.
agree, Doug?
I was just thinking, this is kind of something I wanted to talk to these three guys. So I'm looking on Spotify and I'm looking at the actual length of this EP, which is 5 songs. And it's like what, like something 17 minutes? Is that what the total playtime is?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Like
the
that.
amount of songs that you guys put in that short little 17 minutes, it's unfucking real.
I know.
Well, we like to get to the point.
Right?
I think that's what kind of sets you guys aside is you're like, all right, here you go. We're just gonna, it's like a throat punch, you know? This is who Playhouse is. It's stories. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, this band's got a story to tell, Doug. We know this. And the story continues with this new record. And like I said before, the record's amazing,
Thank you.
but I want to get these guys, got to get in front of some amazing people that want to just rock out to Playhouse.
Yeah, and you mentioned before them playing at Vamped. I've had that vision for the last 3 years, and these guys would kill it there.
Oh, yeah.
Where is Vamped?
Right smack on Sahara and Rainbow
Yes.
in Las Vegas, dude.
Oh, well then.
It's owned by Danny Coker of Counts Customs. If you guys
Yeah.
was it History Channel? Yeah, he owns that place.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's the best place on the West Coast. I know a lot of people talk about the whiskey and all that, but Vamp beats them all, in my opinion. As
Yeah.
far as the whole experience you get when you go to a show.
Yeah. I mean, incredible. I mean, let's not forget our friends at Backstage Bar and Billiards.
Yeah, those guys.
Well,
That's a whole. Such a different vibe because it's right downtown. It's right around the corner from the Fremont Street Experience.
yes.
That place is sick.
Yeah, I mean, Ava
Carlos, you're a badass.
Yeah, Ava Berman and Big Daddy, let me tell you, they are two amazing individuals. They alone are keeping rock alive in this town. It's
Wow.
I agree.
But yeah, let's get back into it now. With the record, you guys are already rehearsing, so you already have it in your mind that you're going to play out, or do you have something you want to tell me? I'm pointing to you, Peter Cat.
We got one date booked. We're at a point in our career that we either play little theaters or, we average 500 people per show. So we're usually asked to play to open for bigger bands. So this year, that's more the strategy of opening up for bigger bands this year. And we'll probably headline one or two of our own shows. It was discussed a bit last night. We have a headline date in September, but the summer's coming, and there are promoters that are reaching out to
Right.
us. We're just making sure we're available and everyone else is available. I know that doesn't sound like the Playhouse of 1980s and 90s, but most of us are family men. We have other careers, so we're not a touring band anymore, but we've become very selective. So usually when we play, there's usually a pretty decent crowd. But there should be some stuff announced in the next month or two.
How about you, Danny? Are you looking forward to getting back on the stage?
Yeah, I like playing. I mean, it's always fun being in front of the fans, especially with some new songs. But what I enjoy the most is actually writing. So that's more of which pays less than actually playing gigs these days, right? Like nobody buys records, and you're like getting 0.0001 cent per stream. So
Well,
it's a bit
that's a
ridiculous.
whole Danny. That's a whole other show.
Yeah,
That is definitely
Unfortunately.
a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
1000%. But
But
that being said, I mean, it's always fun to play live. It's definitely it's getting to the point where, especially when we're opening, it's tough to decide what we're playing, what we're not. There's a lot of tracks that we want to play, and it's a nice position to be in, but it's one I never thought we would be.
right.
When we got back together in 2016, it was like, we had to play songs from 1987 to, build a half decent set for that first show and dust out some old ones, which was fun. It was cool, but those songs are pretty old. And, compared to the new stuff we had at the time off the Rock and Roll Circus, wasn't really at the same level of, On Fire and Stand Up and Fight and I Don't Need You, even though I Don't Need You was written back then. But anyways, whatever. So all that to say is now with Dancing at Funerals and this EP, it's getting tough to kind of pick what we're going to play at the show and how long we're going to play for. So
Yeah, because I mean, what's the average, Peter, that you guys are getting as far as a window of time?
For opening act, 40
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay.
When we do our own show, we play 15 songs, so about an hour and 20, hour and a half.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard for you guys because you do have an extensive catalog.
Thank God our songs are 3 minutes.
Yeah, these guys are lucky I'm not writing their set list for them.
I know, right?
Like, Doug, do we got to play another 3 hours again? Because I know you guys,
right.
you guys have been known to finish with a certain Kiss cover to close the show out. And,
yes,
that's my favorite band of all time. So,
yep.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Bruce Springsteen territory soon and pulling off 3-hour shows.
Oh man. Buckle up, folks.
Yeah.
That's epic. And that's one thing I've got to tell you and here's a guy that's never actually been able to experience a Playhouse show live. From any footage I've ever seen, like Peter was saying, they pack the house, but it looks like people have such an amazing time at a Playhouse show.
Yeah, I was looking at some footage today. I'm like, man, these guys have got to get to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm serious.
You won't be disappointed.
I'd love to make it out to Vegas.
Yeah, we need to do that little, West Coast in and out kind of gigs. What do you think, Doug?
Yep. I think we'll talk about that.
That's for sure. KK, what do you think about getting back on that stage, man, and doing a little shredding?
It's always a good time. It's a great time, It's always very fun playing with these guys. I mean, it just that's when you forget about the rest of the world.
Yep.
You're in your own element, playing, having fun. playing some great songs, having a great time, and playing in front of some great fans. A lot of them coming to see us since '87. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing. We got such a good base core of fans that have stuck with us for so many years, and it's incredible having to see them again and having them come with their kids. That's
Yeah.
Right.
how long it's been. It's just
Yeah.
it's incredible. It's
Yeah. It's like the second generation Playhouse.
Yeah.
it's fantastic. Really is fantastic, yeah, it's a nice
The second coming, Peter. That's what you should have on the shirts. The second coming of Playhouse. I already did the shirts.
Fantastic.
But for sure. But I mean, what are some of your favorite cities that you guys played at when you did your tour back in the day? Like, what are some of the more standout cities?
I'll let the boys remember everything. I don't remember anything. So
Okay, Danny, you're in the hot seat.
Oh, damn. Listen, they were all, I mean, God, a lot of the small towns were the funnest, you know? Those are the ones where there were more, I guess, more intense, more rabid. They're hungrier for that show, for lack of a better term. So some of these towns like are just, yeah, it's like a one traffic light or one horse, right?
Those are the best, man.
Yeah. So some of those were very memorable, and a lot of good memories.
Yeah. And I mean, along the way, you guys have done it all. The history is there.
when we still had long hair and lots of mousse and hairspray.
I'm pretty sure though for all the other towns you guys played, that playing in the NDG has probably been the most memorable. I bet.
Funny enough, we've
To the
never played it.
hometown.
We played it NDG
What?
once.
One time.
No, twice.
Both time at the high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were
Oh, that's
starting
true.
off.
That's true. That I was at the in the auditorium.
And the second time, we actually booked a gig downtown. So we finished playing this high school, and then we packed
high
up
school
the
auditorium.
gear, drove
Packed
downtown,
up.
loaded the gear in, and hit the stage, and played 2 sets.
Yeah.
That was a crazy night. Station 10.
Wow.
That
I could
was great.
totally see you
insane.
guys doing that. Just randomly pulling up, just opening the trunk, man, lighten up the and just start playing.
That's pretty much what it was.
Wow. That's
And Pete-
really cool.
You guys
invited
could definitely pull that
everybody
off.
in that auditorium to come down to the club. Luckily, not all of them came, but the place was packed. It was crazy,
Oh my God, it was
Fun
unbelievable. You couldn't
Yeah,
even move in there. It was so packed.
Yeah.
Like literally, the waitress couldn't get to the tables to be getting people served. It was like packed like a sardine can.
You remember that, Peter?
All I know, we were really big for about 5 years in this country. We were big. We were huge. We could fill in 1,000-seat venue on our own, countless times in our own city in a year. We were huge. Like, it was quite a thing.
Sorry, I didn't go. Continue.
No, that's all I have to say about that. We were huge.
I was gonna say, I remember one year, finishing the gig, and there was no beer. They were out of beer.
What?
On a
What,
Friday
dog?
night.
No beer.
There was no. He had 4 left. He had 4
I knew
left.
he was gonna pull a can out, guys. I was waiting for this.
Foster's Australian for beer.
I
cheers,
was saying
buddy.
to myself, is Doug Franklin gonna pull out a beer can during the interview? There you go, Doug.
That's your one.
Yeah.
There.
That's it.
That's it.
So I wanted to, Carol, I don't know if you've ever heard this story. I know you've talked to Peter before, but I would love everybody to know from the band perspective, the time you guys opened for Extreme in what, 91, 92, something like that.
This is
92. September the 8th, 1992.
Is that when it
this
was?
is this is a
Remember that?
Danny and KK story. Only thing I want to say before they tell you the story is that More Than Words had just hit #1 worldwide that summer. And
And we
now
all remember that. I was stationed. I was in the Army and stationed at Fort Ord, California, when that song came out, and I thought it was like Simon and Garfunkel or something the very first time I heard it
anyways,
because of the
Danny
way they
and KK
harmonize
know
on that song.
Danny and KK know the story way better than me. So let them.
Well, they were touring for with ZZ Top. And the tour wasn't coming to Montreal. It was playing in Ottawa the night before. So Extreme had a day off, so they booked Montreal at the Brick. And we didn't get the opening slot, but the day of the show, I'm at work and my mom calls me. Like, there's no cell phones back then, right? There's no email. There's no text messaging.
Give a pager?
Hey?
No
They
pager.
existed, but we didn't have any.
Oh,
Did they exist? I don't remember. But so my mom calls me at work. I worked at this, little corner store, and like most musicians, and she tells me call Sean right away. That was the booker at the Brick. So right away, it's, okay, this is it, So I call him, and he's like, "Hey, I'm adding you guys to the bill. Can you make it?" And yeah, from there, I mean, I called Pete, and then we called whoever, the rest of the band, called the truck, called Costa, Uncle Costa, who was our mover. And we all just went to the jam room, loaded it up. And I remember we pulled up, and there was like hundreds of people outside the club. It was pandemonium. Yeah, it was awesome. I don't know, KK, if you have anything to add.
That's it. Just remember getting there, and there was like tons of people lined up outside, hanging out outside. It was like, yeah, it was unreal. It was just absolutely unreal. Packing it up into the freight elevator, going up, bringing all the gear upstairs, and it was phenomenal.
What was it? Let me ask you, KK, what was it like plugging in and doing that first note?
Oh, it's just it was the best feeling in the world. I mean, the place was overbooked. They actually allowed more people in than the capacity was supposed to allow. And literally, I mean, you had 2 levels with the balcony up at the top full. The stage was, oh, it was just amazing. I mean, yeah. I mean, we've played that stage many times before, but
yeah,
not like it was that night. It was just absolute magic. And we were introduced by what was his name again?
Helder?
What was it? Elder?
Helder.
Yeah, he introduced us that night, and he introduced us as Playhouse from Florida because of Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
You see, I don't remember that. And
Yeah.
As a side note, Helder, who at the time was one of the bookers, and he was a DJ at this place, the Brick, Helder Pedro. He introduced us when we did our comeback show back in 2016 at Piranha Club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's
he was
funny.
the one that introduced us that night as like, please welcome from Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah.
That's right.
Playhouse.
Now I remember.
And and it was great because I mean, now the place was packed to the rim, but a lot of the fans that knew us, knew that we weren't from Sarasota, Florida. But all of the other people that were there that were just introduced to us um, live that night, thought we were from Sarasota, Florida, and it was just it was actually very, very I don't know, there was humor to it, and like I said, it was a great night. The energy was incredible. Like it was just an incredible energy in the air,
Yeah.
and it was just an amazing evening. We played probably one of our best sets that we've ever played. We were so tight that we were
Yeah.
just like on the ball. Like everything was at its most perfection ever. I mean, but remember, we were touring a lot and we were practically playing every night. It was rare we weren't playing.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
you guys were about 5 years in as a band at that point too. So
Yeah.
exactly. And that's when we were really, really touring a lot. And we
If we
got
weren't
to,
if we weren't on a stage, we were in the jam room.
Yeah.
well, exactly. So we were always doing something with the band. If it was rare we didn't we were always seeing each other for one purpose of it or another. If it was a rehearsal, practicing, writing, playing live, touring, radio interviews,
Handing out
um,
flyers.
handing out flyers, I mean, because back then there was none of this that we have today. So we really had to
Oh
promote
yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Just like you see on just like you see in the movie, what was it, Rockstar, the way they did it. That was what it
Yeah.
was.
Oh yeah.
It was
And-
it was exactly that. That was exactly our life. And it was great. And we had the best times of our life. And yeah, it was great times. So
so
that night was just magical. It was probably, as far as I'm concerned, like what I have to say about it. I mean, maybe the other guys would say maybe the same thing or another gig, because we played and we played with a lot of other great bands, you know, um, supporting other bands over the years as well. And but that one for me was probably the most climactic moment ever. You know?
so
Yeah.
that should be an indication of how big you guys were there to just be added pretty much last minute to a band at that time that was really climbing, being close to being like the next best thing. And I remember part of the story you guys. I've been talking to Danny and Peter previously that one of you guys in the band was kind of hard to reach that day. I
Hey,
think it
it's
was
not.
Eric.
Yeah, the
Was it
same guy
Eric?
that happens not to be here right now.
The freak.
Yeah, he's always hard to reach.
I guess he's fixing his alternator.
Little inside
So
joke.
that had to have been because I mean you guys. Let me just ask you this: had you not been able to get him, would you guys have gone on as a four piece, or would
No,
you have? Because
no.
you don't just turn down a gig like that.
We would have, because the thing about this band is that, and I used to say this a lot. I always thought the front man was the main guy. Back then, it was like, Pete, shut the f up and do your job. So I've always considered Playhouse personally as five frontmen. I don't think we've we did maybe 1 or 2 shows with an alternative member, but back then, not a chance that would have happened. I don't think so. I mean, it never
No.
came to that, but I don't think that would have happened. We would
Well,
never
I
go on
think
mixtape.
fate stepped in and made sure that you guys were there, all of you.
I would think more like Danny stepped in. I would like to think that more than anything.
So you guys literally only had like a few hours notice to throw all this together.
I was
Yes.
out. Danny was out that I know Danny was out later than me that night because he told me he got home at 4. I got home like at 2:30 that night. I was at the club and I woke up to the phone call. So I must have gone to bed at 4 or 5 in the morning. And then my girlfriend's like, Danny's on the phone. And I thought I was all in the daze when I got the call. He's like, all he said was, get down to the jam room, we're opening up for Extreme. And I started yelling the top of my lungs. And
So was the Extreme Show announcement like last minute, or did you
no,
guys?
they announced it a week or two before, but every band in the city was trying to get the opening slot, and they wouldn't give it to anyone or say who would be. I'll give it all credit to Danny. Back in the day, Danny used to roam around the clubs, and he was always friends with the bookers or the owners. And as far as I remember, Dad always used to stand at the back of the club with a drink, talking to girls or promoters. And I think that was one of the reasons we got so many of these opening acts, because Danny was doing that networking for us back then.
Yeah, I would say I spend my weekends at Backstreets and the Brick and
Yeah.
Whatever, the Repair,
Yeah.
going everywhere just to hang out, try to get a gig,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I remember. I think it was Harem Scarum. I don't know if you guys know those guys, or
We
it could have
we
been
were
Bright
just
Rock.
literally just listening to those guys a couple days ago.
Okay, what about Brighton Rock?
I remember them too.
Okay, so it was one of those two guys, but I remember I'm at the Brick and I'm just leaning up against one of the pillars, and Sean comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, what are you guys doing? Whatever the date is, you guys free?" I'm like, "Yeah." "You want to open for Harem Scarum or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "Okay, cool." And then he just walked away. So that's how business was done.
Yeah, I mean,
but you had to be there. Somebody else would have been there. They would have got the gig.
Yeah, but Doug can attest to this too. Right now, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Unfortunately,
in this business.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, did you guys ever play with Svengali back in the day?
No, they were after our time.
We were supposed to.
Oh yes.
We were supposed to. Remember, we were about to sign a record deal with Aquarius Records.
Oh yes, of course.
And the singer from Frozen Ghost and Cyndi Lauper's guitar player was supposed to produce the album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And apparently we were supposed to be doing something with them.
You serious?
Another great Canadian band, y'all.
Weren't we supposed to be doing that? Apparently we were supposed to do some gigs with them across Canada.
Possible. I don't
remember.
Yeah. I don't remember anything about this. What happened to us in the early days? I have a few flashbacks. That's about it.
Hey, listen. A few years back, we opened up for Killer Dwarfs, and there's like a chat going on or whatever, and it's like, "Hey, man, it's gonna be cool. We're opening up for them again." And I'm in the chat going, "What do you mean again?" And they're like, "Well, we opened for them in '89 or whatever." And I'm like, "What?" And there's a picture of us all backstage, both bands, and I'm in the picture, and I have no recollection of this gig or that I have opened up for Killer Dwarfs.
I've covered that band before.
So those guys are badass.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot more other bands we opened up for that apparently Danny doesn't remember.
Yeah.
That's true. Lee Aaron.
Lee Aaron opening up for Lee Aaron, opening up for the Bullet Boys, and
I don't remember.
the list goes on and on and on and on, and it's like, oh really? We opened for them too? Oh,
yeah.
I guess he just had
I was drinking
a few more drinks than he thought that he.
So do you guys have a dream band you'd like to play with?
Damn.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we all have our ultimate bands that we love since we were kids. You know, I mean, I would love. I mean, it would probably never happen, but open up for AC/DC, that would be amazing.
You,
Yeah,
Pete?
AC/DC's great, man.
Yeah, saw them 7 times, met them all.
I have never seen AC/DC live, and I feel almost embarrassed to say so.
Oh, no. I saw For Those About to Rock tour.
So
Yeah,
did I. Tickets were
that was the first.
$12.50. Now you
That
can't
was
even
the
get a
yeah.
beer for $12.50.
No
Yeah.
way.
That was my first show.
Me too.
Wow.
Montreal Forum.
Yeah, that's right. That's the night there. Yeah, I remember. And that night I met Simon Wright, who was replacing Phil Rudd on drums, and I met Brian Johnson.
Really? For Those About to Rock? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost didn't make it out of that show because I'm on the main floor about 50 rows back, and all of a sudden a flying object hits me in the back of the head, and it was a Jack Daniels bottle.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I blacked out for a second. I'm like, what just happened?
Wow.
You know what,
Wow.
Carol? It
Was
sounds
there any Jack in the bottle at least?
What? It was empty.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's fucked up, but it's also 80s epic though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived. I had a big knot in the back of my head, man, because I said, I'm not missing this show. I ain't going anywhere. I'm telling
it's a
my
great
friend,
show.
He's like, what? I go, no, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I remember
He's
the
like, "You're
band that
crazy."
opened was Midnight Rider. They had a female singer, and she had this like leopard one piece on.
Yeah, I didn't make it early enough to see the opening act, and I didn't want to see the opening act.
Well, you didn't miss much.
I wanted it to be, I wanted it to be that moment of I don't know, bang, like, this is
I
the first band, the first show, and my favorite band of all time. So
yeah, I can't remember who opened up for that show. I think I got there late also due to parking issues. So, but I still made it before AC/DC got on. I think I made it right at the end of the opener, where I don't even know who they were.
Where did you see them, Carol?
I saw them at the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago.
Ah, Chicago.
Chicago.
That's where you're originally from, right?
Yeah. I saw a lot of shows there.
yeah, great city.
Yeah, for rock, absolutely.
Who would you like to open for, Pete?
Any band that I know we're gonna blow away. I'm not going up there unless
There's a long list there, Pete.
Yeah. I'm like, damn,
Doug,
Peter,
you owe me a beer.
how many hours do we have?
I for me, if we would make it to the dance, as I call it, it would have to be a band that we could actually. I'm very competitive when it comes to music, and I'm not going to go up there and let our band fail. And what I mean by that, we're very much into. To me, the testament of a band being successful live is when the crowd sings back to you.
Oh yeah, that's
so.
If you can get that,
our set is designed where there's 3 or 4 sing-alongs. Now, if I can get 20,000 people to sing a song they've never heard, we're winners. I would like to say, if I could say anyone, it would definitely be the Stones or probably Bon Jovi.
Nice.
One thing, by the way, I will say, like Pete said, those sing-alongs, they're obviously towards the tail end of the show, and we've had many an opening set for an act get cut short because said acts or management, road crew, whatever the hell it was, did not like that.
Yeah.
They don't like when the whole crowd's singing for the opening act.
Too bad.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
We've
Too
we've had
bad.
that happen a few times, where we're supposed to get 40 minutes, we get 35, They're doing this, they're doing this. No more,
And
no
you're
more.
just grinding and getting that last note in, man.
Yeah.
Very, very reminiscent of a couple bands that ended up blowing away the bands they were opening for, being Kiss and Van Halen.
Right.
And that's the thing. You guys, every song you guys do can be a sing along. That's how catchy and memorable your songs are.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
agree.
not surprised at all.
Well, listen, we've had a lot of compliments, and I'm not saying this as to sound arrogant or anything, but we've had a lot of these bands that we've opened up for, members of these bands, come into our dressing rooms after we've opened for them, going like, "What label are you on?" And we're like, "Yeah, no, like or whatever," and or "How come I've never heard of you guys? Like, what the, So that's always a good compliment too, when your peers, or like Pete was mentioning, you know, um, Steve Brown from Trickster. Is that his name, Steve Brown?
Yeah.
Get that right, Steve Brown? And, who was the other guy from, he used to be in Tesla? Frank Hannon, I believe?
No, the
No,
guitarist,
Frank Hannon.
Frank Adams. Yeah,
no.
correct.
Tommy Skioch? Is that
Yeah,
Tommy,
right?
yes.
he was
He's
the
the
one that was
bassist.
No, the guitarist.
Isn't it?
No,
Oh,
the
he's the
guitarist.
other.
So,
Oh, he's the other guitarist with the
Yeah.
black hair.
yeah, he's no longer in the band. He's in another
Yeah,
band. And
that's
Yeah,
Tommy.
David
That's Tommy.
Rude replaced him.
when
Yeah.
we opened up for Enough's Enough, he was on the bill as well. And
Oh yeah.
after the show, he was like, "What the fuck,"
Yeah.
So, when guys like that are telling you what you're doing is good, and they get off on it, and they see, that's also very cool. I mean, the fans obviously, but like I said, when you have your peers kind of validating what you do and kind of freaking out a little bit that you know you're only doing what you're doing at the level you're doing it at, it kind of makes you feel good, at least in that sense, that okay, cool, yeah, all right, that's good. We're not, it's not just, it's like your mom telling you you're good looking.
Right, right.
It's, it
Well,
doesn't
and here's my little add on to this, and Carol can completely relate to this. It's why we do what we do, because we want people in Japan or Australia to know who the fuck you guys are. And
Mhm.
that's why we do what we do. That's why Wild Dogs, we play independent artists. We're playing the guys that are clawing their way to something, and we're happy to be along for the ride, dude.
Um,
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks for
much.
having us.
Um, that being said, we're not trying to prove anything to anyone. Only time we ever try to prove anything it's to ourselves, and it usually comes down to our songwriting. We're not tough on ourselves, but we
Bullshit.
really want to write good songs, and that is the only time it matters. Like we don't necessarily want to be famous anymore. We don't do this for money because we never really made any of it. Um, but we definitely do it to write good songs and share that music with everyone else. But there is a running joke. I do believe that the term almost famous applies to us a lot. I think what we lacked over the back in the 80s and even now is proper management. We're self managed. We don't have the reach we deserve. Because anyone who sees us live and hears our songs, and there's a lot of believers, including you two, and we're very grateful. We have the package to put us in front of 5, 10,000 fans at any kind of festival or any situation. It's just unfortunate as we stand today, we don't have a vehicle for that. And I'm not saying it will never happen, but I'm convinced in a parallel universe, we're literally the Rolling Stones and as famous.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Doug?
Man, I couldn't agree with him more. This is something I know we all think about from time to time because of how the industry is. And it's not like it was 30 years ago, because 30 years ago, these guys are on top of the world, but it's a different world now. And
Yeah.
that's why we try so hard to get these guys out
And we
there.
appreciate that as
We do.
much. We appreciate
Because
it.
we too, I mean, up till 5, 6 years ago, I would have never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing now. And it's not some grand scale, but it's dealing with some of the best people I've ever met in my life in the last 5 years, just working with bands like Playhouse.
Funny,
So
funny. Last night, a testament to our songwriting power. I mean, we had our first rehearsal. We went through all our hits and our set, and then the four of us, because unfortunately one of our members didn't make it. We literally caught lightning in that room and came up with two very decent potential songs. And it always amazed me, even though we're not together on a daily basis, and everyone has grown up and gone their own way. When we get into a room together, there's a true chemistry there, which is
Yeah.
I've never experienced it with any other band I've been in. Not that I have been in many playoffs; it's been pretty much my lifelong project, but there is something that is very magical when we play together.
Yeah. You guys have the flavor, as I say. I mean, you guys have the energy. You're you're in sync.
yep, they are a rock band for grown folks, because
Because we
their
are grown
music,
folks.
their songs have a message. Um, Peter, I assume you write most, if not all, of the lyrics. You're a storyteller, dude.
I write most of them. Danny does keep an eye on me,
Wow. I'll throw in a word.
well, last night, for example, um, I'm a true
That's all.
believer.
That's all, Pete.
I'm a true believer that the lyrics were drawn out of the music. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
No, it makes perfect sense, because
Yeah.
with you guys, it makes absolute sense. It all
Right.
just pieces together. Like I said, I mean, I'll go back to it. Dancing at funerals. Every song stands alone. It tells a story. Um, you go from the highs and the party music of champagne to the sadness of home to you guys are just, and Pete, we've talked about this before. You guys hit every fucking emotion you possibly can in your songs. So
Uh,
that's
that
why.
wasn't that. I'll take no credit for that. I was, in fact, kind of against that. Um, I can be very narrow-minded when it comes to certain things. So I was explained to me by me and Danny have been friends since I'm 6 years old. Well, he was six, I was seven. So we've been through a lot together. We've known each other for a lifetime. And I was explained to him by him mostly, but also our producer, Kevin, that on 12-song album, it'd be good to have something more than 12 songs going really fast, which I kind of like. But I give it credit to them more than myself. Yes, I was involved in writing all the songs with them, with the band. But yeah, Dancing and Funerals was definitely more Danny and Kevin who set the tone. I would not the tone,
Right.
but let's make it a
The path.
broader thing, right, Danny?
I think to a certain extent it was a path, and then we had different styles, different songs. So it was kind of like, okay, well, we need a ballad, you know, what
Right.
ballads do we have? You know, we need some rockers, right? So like which ones, you know, we need, like we had different, well, we have too much of this, so one of them's got to go. You
Right.
know,
Right.
it was because we naturally write in different styles. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like KK was mentioning AC/DC, but I know KK also loves Billy Joel, you know,
Yeah.
and Pete's a huge, you know, Bono fan as much
Yeah.
as
And
he
you
loves
guys have a lot of
Bono.
elements.
And
That's
A lot of
Eric
that's
different
loves,
exactly
elements.
right.
yeah, and Eric loves Metallica, but he also loves
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen. And you know, for me, it's like I love Tom Petty, but I also love Stevie Wonder and old
Right.
Stevie Wonder, not 80s Stevie Wonder. But
Well,
you know
you
what I
guys,
mean? Like
I hate
so
to
and
cut you short. I
so
hate to
all
cut
of
you
those,
short,
I'm
but go
sorry.
ahead, finish your story.
No, so I just, you know, all of those influences that, you know, we're fans of music, really.
Yeah, I think
Ultimately.
all of us
So,
are. If we
yeah.
weren't, yeah.
So why limit ourselves to just like this, you know, having blinders on?
Yeah,
It's like let's pull from all of that stuff. I mean,
exactly.
you know, when we were working on and I won't get too much into it, but I mean, I've been influenced by The Weeknd, you know, and I've been influenced by Taylor Swift, and but also AC/DC and Motley Crue.
Right.
So it doesn't matter, right? It's like food. Uh, you know, it's like why limit yourself to one thing when you can, you know, savor all of these great different flavors
Yeah.
and different things, right? So I think that's with dancing at funerals, that was, you know, try one of those conscious efforts to just kind of get all of those influences where, you know, we have Pete's melodies and hooks and lyrics and storytelling, and we have Ace, you know, KK's driving rhythms and Eric's, you know, guitar
Right.
pyrotechnics and all of that stuff. And it's like, okay, bring it all together, but at the same time, kind of mix it up and bring in other elements like, you know, Million Miles, like Pete said yesterday, you know, it's like, it sounds kind of like Elton John in a way, right? With
Right.
the piano and that stuff. And it's like, it's all good music, really. And Doug, when we were talking at the interview, when we did Talking the Fast Lane, you know, you guys were talking about how it's very, you know, varied and all of that stuff. And that's what it is, really. Like, why limit
Right.
yourself, right?
Yeah, Danny, if I remember right, in an interview we all did back then in 22-ish, you said something about different flavors. It was like a Baskin Robbins.
Yeah. I've heard that
Great
too.
And
analogy.
that and that, you
31,
know, not
31.
yeah, 31 flavors. I mean, you guys are all over the place, and that's what I was happy to see you guys continued on the EP is like, all right, if anyone wants to know, this is who Playhouse is. You're going to get something different in every song.
Yeah. And you know, just to wrap it up, you guys, that hour went by really
It
fast.
did. It sure
It,
I
did.
mean, amazing. I mean, we were talking
When's
about a
part
lot of
two?
stuff. And and I want to thank you guys. Peter, I want to thank you for getting the guys together tonight
My
to,
pleasure.
you know, to have this powwow, as I say, music powwow. Congratulations on the new record. Anything you want to say to your fans before we all kind of depart here?
Our next single, The Ones That Don't Belong, will be, the video will drop on Friday, March 28th. It's already on all platforms, the single if you want it. But the best part about this new video, Doug and Carol are both in it.
Really?
You haven't
Very
seen it yet.
cool.
Oh,
I haven't
you're
seen
gonna
it
love
either,
this.
so it's
You
going
all
to
are
be a
gonna love this.
surprise.
Very cool. Thank you for that.
KK,
That's
you're
great.
gonna be going. You're gonna be going. Oh, I know him. I know her. I know that guy. I know her.
I know
That's
that
It's
can of
cool.
awesome.
beer.
You
Thank
guys
I
you.
did an
know that
amazing
can of
job with
beer
this
that Doug's
video.
holding up.
Right?
There we go.
Oh my gosh. Danny, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
No,
for
thank
coming
you,
on.
Carol. Appreciate it. Thank you for having us and everything you do and supporting local or independent artists. It's amazing, and I can't thank you enough for the support, the exposure, and spending an hour of your time with us and
Yeah.
chatting is amazing. Doug, you can't say enough. I love you. Thank you, and
We love you guys, man.
I hope to see you very soon, either in Montreal or maybe next time I'm in Vegas.
You never know. And KK, thank you so much. I know
You
you're
better let me know if you're gonna hit Vegas, Danny.
Oh, I will. I
I'm dead
will.
serious because just to let y'all know, I don't know when this is gonna air exactly, but
And Carol,
I'm
you as well.
I'm moving back to Vegas here in the beginning of May, so Vegas, watch out.
Damn.
Yep. Dangerous Doug is back on the scene, man.
Back on the strip.
Back on the strip. Thank you, KK. It's been amazing.
You're awesome,
Thank you for
Taking the
having us.
time.
It was a pleasure. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Doug, for everything that you guys do to help and support us and all the other bands out there that could use the extra, kick. And for all of our fans that are listening out there, please don't hesitate to subscribe to our Facebook page, channel, share, like, comment, just do everything that needs to be done to, just make this grow further than where it's at right now.
Stream.
And we stream, and like I said, subscribe, chat, comment, share, all of those wonderful things that help a band get a little bit more recognition. And of course, to continue and listening in with Carol, with Vegas Rock Goddess, and Doug, much appreciated. And
Just so you guys know, I'm playing the new single this Sunday too on my show.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Thank you,
Doug. Do it, man.
Thank you so much.
And
yeah,
Peter,
and
go ahead, Doug. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, and anyone watching this, if this is your first time watching Carol's show, make sure you tell your friends about it. All these bands, we do this for the love of doing it, and make sure you give her a follow. Tell your friends about Playhouse. I'll tell your friends about Playhouse.
That's right. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate you. And Peter, we can find you on all the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
and YouTube. Correct.
And Spotify.
And Danny just started his own OnlyFans this Tuesday.
Carol, I love your background, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
That's a
this isn't the end. We'll be talking again, hopefully in person. Yeah. Doug and I are going to try to make this happen.
We're going to do some stuff together, Carol.
I know. All right, you guys take care, Peter. Thank you again.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll all talk soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Carol.
Have a wonderful evening.
Playhouse.
Playhouse forever.
Playhouse.
Playhouse.
Vegas
baby. Rock Goddess. Dangerous Doug.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, guys.
Ciao. Take care. See you, Danny. See you, Carol. See you, Doug.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Doug, you want to hang out for a second?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's talk about your show. I'm going to give you a little bit of a plug here. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find your show at?
Okay, it's really simple. WildDogsRadio.com. I'm on there basically Fridays. I do a little collaboration with the founder of Wild Dogs. It's Rock Dog, Doug Russ. Love you like a brother. It must be a Doug thing. And then I'm on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific, and on Sundays now my time got bumped to 3 p.m. Pacific. and I only play unless I go outside the box and play some of my favorite stuff from the old days. I mainly focus on independent artists, and
Right, just like I do. Yep.
yeah, and that's those are who need us. And I'm
Yes.
not saying they need us like to sound egotistical, but why am I going to put my energy into a band that's already got 6 million followers on socials?
Yeah.
We want to support the guys that are clawing their way, trying to get somewhere, you know.
Yep, absolutely. And thank you so much, Doug, for coming on. I'm sure we're going to talk
I
soon.
I appreciate you so much for having me on. This band means so much to me, and I thank you for letting me be part of it.
Yeah, Playhouse is amazing. And Doug, we'll talk soon.
Yes, thank you, Carol. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Playhouse with Doug Franklin joining us. This band is incredible. If you don't know who Playhouse is, definitely check them out on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Join us. This band is amazing. This is the Vegas Rock Goddess on the Rocks, total entertainment. Always like and subscribe, because really, you never know who I will be interviewing next.